guys, and welcome again. If you want to do something completely new today, I hope you're ready because I prepared a new video for you. And in the video today we're going to be doing this little number. So as you can see, this is a skirt. It's made out of wool and it has a flounce. So I'm going to teach you how to actually do a flounce and how to manipulate the darts and everything else and create a brand new pattern you can use for numerous other clothes and numerous other projects that you want to maybe do. This skirt actually has a face waistband, which we did in the previous video, so stay tuned. I hope you're going to like it. Please post your comments below and stay tuned.
Hey guys, and welcome back. First things first, we're going to do a design or a pattern on the paper, just to let you know how this actually looks like in my head. So I want to do a small flounce on a regular pencil or a straight skirt. We're going to be using a waistband as well, and that's basically it, very simple. So I've bought this fabric the other day because it's nice and warm and it's still winter, and I just decided to go with the houndstooth pattern because I really like how it looks like. Even though it looks a bit odd on the camera, it looks perfect in life. So I wanted to show you what was my inspiration here. This is a skirt that I made a couple of months ago over summer, and it's just a basic straight skirt. The difference between this one and the one I'm going to do is that this one has a straight waistband, while the one that I have is going to have a face waistband because I think that's going to be work out a bit nicer, and I want to give it a try with something new. It has a invisible zipper, my favorite. I don't even use anything else besides that one, and it's quite simple and it looks really nice. I love the color as well, but I think it's going to look amazing on the houndstooth as well. First things first, I like the way the skirt is long. So this skirt is 90 centimeters long on the longer side, and it is 60 centimeters long on the shorter side. So there is a difference of 30 centimeters in between. The actual flounce is 20 centimeters long on this dress, but you can make it 20, 25, 30, as much as you want. So this is something that you can decide yourself. Now this pattern is going to be cut out of basic blocks that I use for every single skirt block or skirt pattern, but this is going to be cut out of one piece, so it's not going to be, this is not going to be able to cut on the fold because it has an asymmetry in the whole skirt, so we have to be careful that we have a whole paper that we can use, and we're going to use this whole paper to cut it out of the actual fabric. It's very simple, you're just going to trace it, and later on I'm going to let you know what to do next. See here now, you're just going to line it up and you're going to trace the other side. So you don't get the half one, you get the whole skirt or the whole face of the skirt. This is the length of 90 centimeters on this side, or let's say 90 minus 20, that will be 70 centimeters because there is a flounce to add as well. And the other one is 60 minus 20, that will be 40 centimeters. So instead of 90 and 60, we have 70 and 40. Here I'm just going to use this skirt as it's the same length, just to see that I've marked it correctly. And as you can see, it's all good. We're going to add seam allowances. Now this is something that you can do or not. You can just mark the pattern on the actual fabric with a water-soluble pen and add the seam allowances later on as you're cutting if you're more experienced. This is just the way to keep it more simple and mistake-free. You have to write down which side is going to be facing up on the fabric, as there is an asymmetry on this fabric. It has to, you have to make sure that you cut out the right one. So this is the one that's going to be facing up on the fabric. Now that we have this done, center back is something that we have to do. And as you can see, it was nice and simple, not very hard. I'm going to use the same paper, just going to turn it on the other side, and I'm going to use this center front so I can mark the length of the actual center back, so I don't make a mistake and make center back longer or shorter than center front, because the side have to match even though the center back is smaller. And here I'm going to mark that this is the wrong side that's going to be facing up, just so you make sure that if you have a fabric that has a different face side and wrong side, it's very important to write down which one is actually going to be facing up and which one is facing down. You do not want to cut out the wrong one, because then you basically cannot use the fabric again. And here we have it, center back done as well. Let's go to the flounce. Now the whole circumference of the bottom of the skirt is 115 centimeters. That's 57.5, which means that the circumference of the half of the circle is going to be 57. I'm going to put a simple formula you can use to calculate this, because otherwise you're just gonna keep on trying, oh, how do I get to 57.5? It's really simple, you have it down below. You're going to use your ruler and select 20 centimeters, and then you're just going to mark it all around the actual circle. Bear in mind that this is something that's going to be cut on the fold. Now it doesn't have to be, but just make sure that if you're not cutting it on the fold, if you're cutting it on the actual two pieces of fabric that are separated, to add the seam allowances on the cutted side as well. And here we have it. We're done with the center front, center back, everything is marked, and we're ready to sew it. First of all, we have to cut it out of the fabric, of course. As you can see, when you're cutting out those flounces, it will take a lot of fabric, because it is a lot of fabric inside the flounce, even though it looks like it's just something that's sheared and put on a skirt. So just make sure that before you buy the fabric, that you do the pattern, measure how much fabric do you need, and then go and buy it, because otherwise you might end up with not enough fabric. Believe me, I know that from my own experience. Double checking that you have marked the seams or the seam allowances on your pattern is something that I do every single time when I cut out the pattern. So this is something that I did here as well, just to make sure, do I have to add it or I don't have to add it? It's better to know than to make a mistake. I'm going to use an invisible zipper, my favorite. And as this is a skirt that kind of has a bit of a stretch, I have to put the fusible tape on it. How to do it? You're going to measure from the bottom to all the way up to the actual zipper, and you're going to put the fusible tape on the wrong side of the skirt and fuse it with your iron. As simple as that. This is going to make your zipper be much stronger, and the fabric is not going to go away. You're not going to get a rippled zipper when you finish it. So this is something that you have to do every time when you put an invisible or any other zipper on a skirt or a pair of pants. This is a must do. And this is it. It's almost done. The flounce is sewn onto the skirt. The darts are sewn into as well. And as you can see, I have lined the actual flounce with a cotton voile. It's quite cheap, and I think it looks beautiful because the finishing hem of the skirt looks nice and gorgeous, because I don't like when it has the bottom edge sewn into, or it just doesn't look nice, to me at least. And here you see the only thing that's left for us to do is to put the invisible zipper and the waistband as well. I'm going to put the link of the video that I actually explained in how to do a waistband or in to your skirt. This is the one that I have here. If you want to know how to do it, just make sure to follow the link below, or the link that I'm going to put in this part of the video. Might match the darts, and that's it. Here we have it. Skirt is all done. I think it looks beautiful with the yellow jacket. Flounce is gorgeous. You can see all those little cones coming out. It's nice, warm, ready for winter and ready for work. Thank you.